What is up everybody, Smooth here, and today's video we are playing Jax in the latest patch. So recently he got buffed, and for those of you who may not know, but basically just to summarize it down to easier terms for everybody to understand, because when you look at the patch notes it can be a little bit confusing, but overall just your base attack speed got decreased. So basically when you level up, your attack speed got decreased. And now for your passive, you're able to get max stats a lot faster. So before it was you only got 1 stack per hit and you could only get 8. But now you can get 10. So now you can 5 auto attacks and you get max stats. So that's pretty much all it is. You just get your passive faster, and then your overall attack speed got decreased. And then for your third ability, you take 25% reduced damage. So we did our red buff into our blue buff, and right there we wanted to contest Master Yi because his early game is weak, very weak, similar to Jax. But when I saw my both lanes really with like they didn't look in position, so immediately as I saw Master Yi there, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just retreat and pick up the scuttle on the right side, which ends up actually becoming a really good decision overall, because right here we go for the Krugs, and halfway picking up through the Krugs, Fiora and Gragas get into a little bit of an engage, and we notice that, so we're able to rotate, we're able to jump on him and flash smite him, and so we managed to pick up the first blood on Gragas. So making that decision to just retreat and go for the river scuttle on the right side turns out to be a very good decision from us. And right here we just pop a ward, hop over, and just get the vision out of the way. And of course for the first item we go for is the Trinity Force on Jax, a very important and core item on Jax. But for the buffs, really nice, very similar to what they did to Wukong in the last season. The buffs were mainly for Jax to find a spot in the Baron lane. So in the jungle you're really not gonna feel it as much as maybe you would that if you were playing him in the Baron lane. So right here we rotated over after we picked up our red, and we do manage to catch Gragas out in the river, and we secure another kill on Gragas. And right here the enemy's Master Yi reacted very well to it, so they're going for the Cloud Drake right now, but we're all on the myself and Fiora on the right side picking up the Rift Herald. So right here Braum and Vayne do a really good job of trying to contest it, but all Master Yi has to do in that moment is just press smite. So they managed to secure the Cloud Drake, but we managed to pick up the Rift Herald. And really in that situation there really wasn't nothing we could do. You know, we were caught on that area, and to rotate over would probably be a little bit too much like waste of time. So I just decided to pick up the Rift Herald, let the Cloud Drake go. And we managed to pick up the Trinity Force as well. And right here I do a couple of really good plays. Number one, I managed to stun Master Yi under the tower range, and then right there I flashed over Gragas's barrel, and I managed to chase him down and get a double kill. So pretty nice plays right there, you know. Managing to pick up a double kill, and we do manage to secure the turret right here, but Irelia does rotate over and manages to pick up the kill on Fiora. But right here I can tell you that Irelia must have thought that it will auto lock on champions, but that move, the first ability on Irelia, is really confusing sometimes, and I even got very lost in it at times. But it's much better to make sure you control it on characters that you want to jump to. Don't just mash on it or think that it will auto lock on champions. But right here we just backport, we reset, and right here I was actually thinking of just, you know, walking back. I was gonna backport, but they managed to push everybody on the tower, so they managed to pick up the kill on me. Right here we reset, and the fight is still going on right here near the blue, and we managed to pick up another kill on Gragas. So overall very tight game right now in the early game. You know, it's 76. The gold lead, not really that much. They do have a dragon on us. But we managed to get the Rift Herald and secure the first turret. So that's kind of why we have the gold lead. And right here we managed to pick up the turret, the mid turret. So now it's 2 turrets to 0. So we have the turret lead at least, right? And the next dragon is the mountain drake, which is spawning up right now. So right here I'm just kind of looking around, trying to clear as many wards as I can. And my whole team is here. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we should just start and Vayne just start shooting it. But overall, Irelia and Fiora is with us. So I'm like, okay, we should just back out. Maybe we shouldn't engage. But Rakan gets really good engage on. So we pop our third ability. And right here, I actually don't know how I picked up the kill on Master Yi. I was actually really confused. I was like, the only reason I could think of was my red buff. That was like the only thing. But I was like, how the hell did I get that kill? And right here we managed to turn the fight around. So I flash, managed to stun Rakan. But Corki and Irelia managed to kill me off. But at this point Fiora was pretty much fed. You know, she managed to get some kills. But I really don't want to take credit, as Corki managed to pick up a triple kill. But Fiora manages to clean up and get herself a triple kill as well. Like I was saying, is I don't want to take much credit, but I honestly think the reason Fiora was popping off was mainly because we managed to get successful ganks on Gragas. And right here, another really good play I managed to do on Master Yi was, as soon as he came out of his first ability, we immediately popped our stun on him and we managed to pick him up. It's really not much of a, you know, a big brain play, but it's just, I feel like, you know, understanding where Master Yi's weaknesses were, and that we had a stun, you know, making sure that we use our stun whenever he's out in his abilities or not in his abilities was really important, because we can just pick him off when we manage to get that stun. So right there we picked up the Sterox Gauge and then the Brumble Vest, because they were doing a lot of physical damage from Irelia and Master Yi. But right here we start to pick off little by little, as right now it is 18 to 10. We do have a pretty big gold lead right now, but that's mainly because Fiora is just, you know, an absolute menace right now, you know. She managed to farm up, get that triple kill. And right here, my third ability, everybody is just flashing out of it, jumping away from it. But this is really what Jax, you know, is really good at. He's really good in the mid to late game. You know, early game, he's very similar to Master Yi. But I would have to say that the buffs, really, you don't really feel it that much in the jungle. Like, it's really not something that when you're playing, you're kind of like, oh, this is where it is better at. You know, the attack speed, yes, but really the attack speed, it doesn't play much of an effect until later on in the game when you have core items, because that's when Jax really stands out. It's nothing like what they did to Master Yi, because Master Yi is unbelievable. Like, the buffs they did to Master Yi, you can feel it immediately, you know, in the jungle, in the early game. While Jax, it's very similar to where he was before the buffs. But like I also mentioned, it was mainly to make him more viable in the Baron lane as well. So it's very understandable that if you were to play him in the jungle, you wouldn't necessarily feel it or experience it as much as if you were playing him in the Baron lane. So right here, the Ocean Drake is up, but like I said, Fiora was just an absolute menace at this point. So she was just running in, killing people with ease. And this play right here by Master Yi, this was really funny. He's just running back and forth, and I was trying to chase him. And then right there, I used my first ability, because I thought, you know, it would, like I said, it would auto lock on him. And it just jumps to minion, but we managed to pick him up nice and easy. But Jax's first ability is very similar to Irelia's. It's much more useful to actually aim and lock onto characters or things you want to jump to. It's very important to do that, because sometimes, you know, these abilities, they can just jump to a minion or your teammates or anything like that, as you saw as well with Irelia. because if she didn't do that, I honestly think she would have killed me easily. But Jax is a lot of fun to play. I was actually really excited that he finally got a buff, but it really wasn't nothing much too crazy. You know, he's very similar, very standard still to where he was before. But right here we just jump up and we flash stun Corki, but he pops Zonya's. Rakan charms us. We managed to pick up a kill on Rakan and a double kill on Master Yi. And then right here we just pop back in, managed to secure the Ocean Drake. But just Jax and Master Yi, very similar, right? As we pick up the Wit's End, and then the last item, of course, is Guardian's Angel. But very similar play styles. One-on-one, absolutely incredible legends. But now in team fights, you know, really good. The buffs have made them really good, especially with Jax. You're a little bit more tankier. And then, of course, Master Yi, you're just just an absolute monster, you know, in the late game. An insane late game character, which I'm pretty sure might get nerfed. Honestly, will get nerfed in the upcoming patches for sure. But Aurelia managed, Fiora picks up a triple kill, and we just managed to end it right here. So if you are confused about the buffs, really, it's just very slight, you know, very slight buffs, little changes here and there. And we managed to get a pretty good game with Jax right here, with the Godstaff skin. 8, 2, and 6. And I hope you guys enjoyed.